I was born in Milford, Massachusetts. There was 9 of us, 9 boys.
9 boys?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then you didn't go to the hospital. A doctor'd come over your house with a bag, you know. Yeah, there was 9 of us. Then when Roosevelt,
Yeah, you can continue, Alfred. I'm just gonna put that right here up. Yeah, so when Roosevelt, you said?
yeah, let's see, where was I? Oh, yeah, when we all got drafted,
Mm-hmm.
9 of us, you know, I was, it was during the Depression. And I used to pick dumps to get a few dollars. And my brother, Roosevelt, put them in the CCC camps. So then they'd send my mother some money. They went around in the woods and checking all the trees and stuff like that. Then my father was on the WPA. He's a stone mason. He only worked 3 days a week, you know.
Yeah.
He was from Italy.
He was born in Italy?
Oh, yeah, my mother was too.
Okay.
Yeah. He never talked about the service over there. He me don't want to go back. They make me work on the farm, he says. Yeah. So then I used to pick dumps and to make money, you know. And one day I went up my neighbor's house, who was a school teacher. I was rummaging through the dump. I seen a pair of false teeth there. I never seen teeth in my life. I got scared and I ran home. You know? Yeah.
Who did that belong to? Those teeth, those false teeth.
There was a teacher there.
Oh,
She taught school in Milford.
I see.
I didn't know them, you know. But I used to pick all the dumps all around there. And then there was across the street from there was a Jewish guy with a horse and wagon, and he'd go around collecting stuff, you know, for nothing. I used to sell stuff from him too.
What did you sell?
Huh?
What type of stuff were you selling?
Anything.
Anything?
Yeah.
So, Alfred, could you tell me what you remember from the late 30s? You know, Germany invaded several countries in Europe. Japan invaded China. Do you remember hearing, or I mean, maybe on the radio or reading the newspaper
No,
about
it was
those
just
things?
when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. That's all I heard. I used to go to the movies all the time. And yeah, that Roosevelt, he did good though. You know, he put my father on WPA. They made sidewalks in Milford out of cement and everything, you know, stuff like that. And then we all went into service.
Who was the first to go in the service in your family? Was it your brother or was
Yeah, my brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
They were all in Columbia. There were 7 of us during the war. They never talked about the service. One time I saw it like after the war, I said, I saw my oldest brother. He was in a flight uniform. What does that mean, Jeff?
I mean, he goes up on a plane.
Yep. But they never talked about the service. But they treated me good in the service. You know. I remember when I went to, we were in England, and then I met a girl up there, and her name was Peggy Woodman. She had a soldier. He was American, but he got killed over there in your island. You know. She had a little baby. When I went out there, we landed at Utah Beach, and then it comes on the radio. They always heard about me. They says, platoon adjust, tank number 6, shell HE, charge 5, fuse quick, base deflection, 150, quadrant, 3 to 1, fire when ready. I fire one round, he says, up 10. I go up 10, cease firing, machine gun nest. 2 rounds, I knocked it out. You know? And then we were going to go to on Utah Beach. This officer says to my sergeant, take this road here. He says, I'm not going down there, that's suicide. He says, all right, I'll send somebody else down. He sent somebody else down. I was shooting a machine gun 30 inches off the thing, and all of a sudden I hear a noise on the radio, get out, get out. That their tank got knocked out. They're always close calls. Yeah.
Alfred, do you remember landing on Utah Beach? How were you transported from England to Utah Beach? Was it a LST, or do you remember the boats that you were in?
No, it was just a landing boat, you know.
With the doors in the front?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad. Yeah. But the thing is, there, when I was at 18 years old, I was a sharpshooter, an expert gunner. I wasn't 18 years old yet. And then, like the General Patton, when I was in it, I had 3 different tanks. And I was always firing into the next town. Just in one tank, I got it written down in my little notebook. I fired, what was it, 2,100? 2,100 rounds in one tank. Guess what you were doing when you was doing that? Shooting the big shells, 105s. You're killing people, right? Then I had the tank broke down in Germany. I got pictures of that. Had an airplane engine in it. They sent us another tank to replace that one. I fought thousands of rounds out of that one too, for General Patton's armies. And then, yeah, that went on, and I had a lot of close calls.
Why don't you tell them the story about the time you were refueling in France next
What?
to a hedgerow? Tell them about refueling in France.
Oh, yeah. We were in France, and we're refueling the tank, you know. They always had a fuel tank follow us in an ammunition tank, you know. I'm fueling the tank. All of a sudden, in a hedgerow, I see a beautiful lady going like this. Come here. I said, oh. I went over there. It's behind the hedgerow. I said, zig, zig? No, no, benzene. Zig, zig means sex. She says, no, benzene. So I gave her 5 gallons. I didn't get nothing. I didn't care. Yeah, I remember that. The tank hold a lot of gas.
How much, like how many gallons?
Oh, I don't know. They had the tank was on both sides. There was a lot. Yeah.
How would you get refueled? Did you have like I don't know, because
No, they had a truck that stayed in the woods, and we'd go over there and get the gasoline from them. They had an ammunition truck follow us too. The Americans had everything made, and then even the infantry was good to us. Where's he going now?
Looking for Fluffy.
he's looking for the cat because she's making a little bit of noise. She wants some attention.
No, I think she got locked in the
Oh, I see.
bathroom.
Yeah. I'll tell you the story when I was getting. Does he want to take a look at my little book?
Yeah, where
Oh.
is it? You want me to get it? Is it in your bedroom?
It's hanging up in my jacket, right in my pocket.
In the bedroom?
Yeah.
Alfred, do you remember your first combat in Normandy? Do you remember your first engagement against the Germans in Normandy?
Well, we went to Utah Beach, you know. And I'll tell you another one in France. Wait till he gets my book. Said me being a gunner is bad.
Well, I'm sorry, what did you say, Alfred?
I says, you find it?
Yep.
Would you be okay to move the light a little bit?
Move this way?
A little bit.
This way?
Here you go.
Can you close? Yeah, push it. Yeah. Thank you. So what is that, Alfred?
1943. See the purse there?
Yeah.
I made that.
What? It's your diary from 1943?
Yeah.
Wow. So you put all the place where you trained, right?
Yeah. Most of them.
Could you tell me a little bit more about the training, Alfred, to become a tanker, you know?
What'd he say?
He wants to know about what you did in training when you were becoming a tanker.
Oh, we trained, I don't know how many.
Tell him about the
Eh.
long march you had to do.
Yeah. We trained all over the place. That's all we did was train, train, train.
But what type of training?
Just on the tank.
Tell him about the long march that you had to do.
The what?
The marching that you had to do. Remember, you had a very long march? It's like 50 miles or something like that.
Oh yeah, when I went on the hike there, you had to go like 25 or 50 miles. I stood on the side of the road and I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep?
Yeah, in the bushes.
In the ditch with the pinchies.
Yeah.
Right? The pricker bushes.
But if you fall out there like that, they'll put you washing dishes. I don't want to do that, you know. Well, anyways, when I was training in all these here places, Now I'm getting scared. I said, we're going to get it. I don't know how many close calls we had. And we went into a tobacco field, you know, like they got in Connecticut. They grew tobacco there. And I'm firing into the next town over, hundreds of rounds. All of a sudden, an officer, come out, we're pulling out. See, they want to be first all the time. You know what I mean? And he says, I tried to pull out. The mud went right up over the tracks. I couldn't move. I'm happy. The officer says, leave this tank here, we'll send up a retriever. And he took off. Like I said, they want to be they want to be first all the time. I was happy. I went in the barn. There was a black sedan in there that was booby-trapped. A little red convertible. I started it up, and I drove it a little bit. I hit a 4x4 post, and it was all made out of plywood, like suitcase stuff all over the car. That didn't hurt the car. I backed it out. I put it outside. There's some shells coming over, you know, every once in a while. It didn't bother me. I says to the sergeant, let's take a ride. He says, okay. I says, where till I change my uniform? I didn't turn in my old clothes because my mother taught me good wool with the pants right there, the string right on it. I had a rifle, I had a hand grenade on it, pistol in my back pocket. I says, let's go. We went and you just see a great big stone wall. There was an opening. We went in there, here's all these Germans eating. They had a banquet or something. I says to the sergeant, there's some nice girls, I think I'll grab one. We drove around, I says, you, get in the car. She got in the car. The sergeant says, I want one too. We drove around, you, get in the car. She got in the car. We still took a chance there. We're the only Americans there. I went under a tree, I tried to embrace them. They were shivering and talking German, and I said, let's take them back. I said, they're too scared. I said, I know what they're scared of. He says, you don't? He says, here you are with the rifle with a hand grenade, a pistol in your back pocket. He says, okay, we'll take them back. We start taking them back. All of a sudden, I see the green Jeep coming with a flag, infantry. Pull over, we pulled over. He says, where you going with these girls? We told him. He says, all right. He says, we heard about you tankers, just like that. But this is what got that officer mad. See, they want to be first. He says, where's your outfit? I says, they left 2 days ago, sir. Did he get mad? Name, rank, and seal, he wrote everything down. I went back in the tank. A week later, an officer comes up to me. He says, Corporal, get your gear together. You're going to Brussels, Belgium. You're battle fatigue. You and the sergeant. Beautiful, right? So we go to Brussels, Belgium. We stayed in a gigantic hotel. I walked out of the hotel. I see the GI there. There's a lot, hundreds and hundreds of GIs. I said, where can we get a girl? He says, go up there on the second floor. How much they charge? $20, a pack of cigarettes. I didn't smoke. A pack of cigarettes or a pair of silk stockings. I said, I go up there, and all of a sudden I'm getting ready with this girl. I had a pistol in my back pocket, too. I look out the window. Here's the MPs coming up there. You can't do that in Belgium. No. I stood out on the ledge. He looked around, nobody there. Then I went back to my place. I went back in the hotel. it stayed right on the, had a big stage there and everything. Hundreds of GIs there. All of a sudden, an officer comes out and everybody stands at attention. And the officer says, "Men, you are an American soldier in a foreign land, the best fighting soldier in the world today. Remember, you're an American soldier. Act like one. Be seated." Everybody sits down. Another officer comes out. "Men, we are gathered here, 2 American soldiers, fraternizing with the German enemy, misbehave on the front lines. They will be court-martialed." I got court-martialed. I had to dig a trench. I didn't get paid for 6 months. I'm happy. I won't have to be in a tank anymore, right? I goes to the captain. I says, "Captain," he was from Springfield. I said, "Now they did all this here to me." I said, "They're going to take my stripes away and everything." You know what the captain said? "No, they heard about you. You're going right back in the tank." You know? That's when they heard about me, you know. Then I went back in the tank. Then I had a lot of close calls. Yeah. We stopped one place in, I think it was France or Belgium. I was sleeping in the cow barn, you know. All of a sudden, there was only 2 tanks there. All of a sudden, I hear some noise upstairs. Here comes an infantry guy walking down with 2 Germans. He says, "Hey, you tankers, look who was sleeping upstairs with you." They had burp guns too, you know. But those were the good Germans, you know. We had to guard them all the time anyways. Yeah. Then another time, we're in a beet field. So all I'm doing is firing into the next town, you know. Then all of a sudden, officers, they can stay in the buildings in the back. An officer can stay in a building. And the officer comes over to me, he says, "Oh, we got shelled last night." I says, "Yes, I know who's doing. Want me to take him out with a 50 caliber? And I never heard of this word before. "Oh, no," he says, "that's unethical." You know? So I waited. The next day I see him near the post, you know? And I told the captain, I said, "The next time it's going to be where you're sleeping." I says, "Can I take him out?" He says, "Okay." He was like a mile away, 2 miles. If you use the sight, you wouldn't get him. I went by the dust, right in the dirt, zoom, 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 boom, and then he went over. And then that officer was happy. Then another, a German airplane was coming this way. We were all shooting at that. I was shooting at it too, but I don't know who got it. I don't know why that German plane, it was suicide. Right in front of us. It blew up right there, right in front of us.
Alfred, tell them about how you had all the tanks lined up and the plane came right at you.
Huh?
You had all the tanks lined up, right? When that happened, weren't you all in a line?
Yeah,
And he came straight into you,
yeah.
the plane.
Yeah, a lot of stories like that.
Hey, Alfred, you said that you changed 3 times your tank. You moved from one tank to another 3 times.
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, one tank, the motor went and had an airplane engine in it. They gave us a new tank. I forget what happened to that tank. And then when that tank left, then I went to the 3rd one. One time we pulled in this here town. And the American infantry says, "Hey, you want to stay in the house with us?" Because they used to feed us and everything. Says, "Yeah." You know what they did? They took all the furniture in the house and threw it out. And I went in, and I'm eating right at in the kitchen there with plates. When I was all done, I took the dishes and I threw them out. You know?
That was in Germany.
Huh?
That was in Germany.
Yeah.
Tell 'em about the time when you came up to the house so quickly, the people didn't even have time, you know? You surprised the people in the house, the soldiers ran out.
Let me see. Oh, you said we're going round and round?
That's a good story, yeah.
Yeah.
The lady.
I had to go in all the houses, you know, look. I went in one house and the lady, and she says, "Oh, your tanks, they go by here all night long." She says, "They're just going around," and I says, "No, that's how much stuff we got," you know?
Talking about the trucks going by on the road in front
Yeah.
of her. And she just thought they were doing a circle for propaganda.
Yeah. Then I went in one house, looked for Germans, and there were shells going overhead. I went in the house, and all the plaster coming down. There was a guy there with a machine gun standing up. But he was dead from the plaster. Lord, I get scared. The plaster coming down, you know, like that, all over him. Stuff like that.
He was covered in white,
Yeah.
right?
Then went in another town. I went in another town, looked for Nazis, and a lady comes over. "Don't shoot my son, he's krank, he's krank." And she says, "Don't shoot my son, he's sick." I went over there, I saw him in bed. I turned around. I said, "American soldier, we don't do that." And I walked out. We're going to go shoot the guy, he's sick. You know? Oh yeah, then another time, now the war was over there, and we was guarding these soldiers. I guarded a whole platoon. And we were going down there, they were chopping these little trees down, you know. I landed them up one day, and one of the soldiers says, "Look at that American soldier. He's got a machine gun. He wouldn't even know how to use it. He's so young, you know." They all went down in the woods, and I fired all the branches. They all went down. An officer comes down, he says, "What's happened?" I told him. He says, "All right, be careful." When those officers come back up, they saluted me and everything,
The Germans.
you know, the
Alfred,
Germans.
Yeah.
Hey,
And then we used to feed them too. I used to give some of them pineapples, you know. I got pictures of the SS with garden, you know.
did you take a lot of prisoners? Did you capture a lot of German soldiers?
Oh yeah, I got pictures over there, a lot of them.
I would love to see that after.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing any very young kids or very old men?
No. I know I heard about them, that's it.
And
Yeah.
were you making any difference, like between the regular German army and the Waffen SS? Were you treating them the same way, the SS and the others?
Oh yeah, the SS, they were son of a gun. I got pictures of they're all washing up there. We had all our tanks right there, you know. And then that other one there when we was in that town in France or Belgium, I was sleeping in the cow barn. They even wrote a letter to me when I come home. It's about this dear woman Her name was Maria. She couldn't even speak English. They said she's asking for you and everything. I said, what do I want to go like that? She can't even speak English. Yeah.
So Alfred, I know your unit was near Metz, M-E-T-Z, Metz, at the German border. It was a big battle in Metz. Do you remember that part of the war? It's in late 1944.
Well, we was in a lot of places that see what happened. If we pull into town, they had another tent with all the officers and everything, and then my sergeant, the first sergeant, come down and says, "Get the tanks ready. We're going over here." So I never knew what was going on, but there was firing again, you know.
Tell them about the Hurtgen Forest.
Oh yeah, what they were when we crossed the. I got a picture there. Go over there and get it, Jeffrey. Just get the small picture in there. I gotta paste it on something. See that big white one there? That big white one. Right there. No, right there.
It's standing up here?
See the big white envelope? No.
The envelope.
Right in front of you, yeah.
This, yeah.
I just had them made.
There you go.
There's another one in there?
Yeah.
I think this is a little one. You can look at that one. Jeffrey, give me that thing there with it.
You want the bag? You say you want the bag?
Yeah. That's the newspaper reports.
No, this is the one you're looking for. Alfred.
Is that one? That's not the same, right?
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
Rhine Bridge. Alfred.
Thank you, Alfred.
Yeah. Look at that one. That's it.
Hey, Alfred, what was your specific job in the tank? Did you keep that same function in the tank? What was your job
My job?
in the tank?
The gunner. That's it. Tank number 6. Tank number 6. They heard about me.
Yep.
You see on my discharge, it says sharpshooter and expert gunner at the age of 18 years old.
Like that.
That was made by a German friend of ours in honor of Alfred's crossing of the Rhine at Remagen.
Yeah.
And he actually displayed that at the site of the bridge on one of the anniversaries.
What can you tell me about the Remagen Bridge, Alfred?
Well, when we went there, see, I never know where we were or nothing. We come across the bridge, right close to the bridge, and there's soldiers going over the bridge, some coming back this way, all wounded, you know. And then it was our turn, one tank at a time. I had to look through the periscope. I'm going across the bridge, and I could see bodies floating down the river, and they were putting up another bridge, the engineers, Americans, way up further, you know. We got across the bridge with the trailer, and then I was scared, because if it ever blew up there, it would go right in the river. I was scared. I had to look through the periscope. We got across, and my tank sergeant, he was from Morgantown, West Virginia, and he come across a liquor store right there. He took some of the ammunition, he threw it out, you know, put some liquor in there.
In the trailer, right,
Huh?
Alfred? He took it out of the trailer. You guys had a trailer on the tank.
Yeah, not all of it, some of it.
Right.
So then he'd give it to the officers, so the officers don't send us in harm's way. You're getting a good sight of him, you know what I mean? That's the way he was. He was from Morgantown, West Virginia. But you could see a lot of, on our cables, a lot of shrapnel there from somebody shooting at us.
Yeah, you said the cable on the front of the tank.
Yeah,
You looked at it after you went across the bridge. There was
Yeah.
a chunk missing out of
Yeah.
the cable.
it was scary, I tell you.
Because the airplanes were coming in, right, and trying to hit the bridge.
Huh?
Weren't there airplanes coming in trying to hit the bridge?
No, not there.
Hey, Alfred, can you tell me a little bit more about, like, you said that you were tank number 6, right?
Yeah.
So could you tell me how it worked? Like, how many tanks were in your platoon, and who was in charge? And tell me a little bit more about how it worked. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Every platoon we had like, I think like 6 tanks. You know what I mean? 6 tanks. Yeah. Let's see, what else? But there, like I told you, when I got court-martialed, I was happy. Well, you know, you get court-martialed, they're going to take your stripes away.
Tell them what happened when you were up on the stage, right? They brought you up on the stage and they read the charges against you, right?
Yeah,
And out in the audience were hundreds of GIs, right?
yeah.
So tell them what happened when they read the
Oh,
charges.
yeah, when they had the hearing, they had hundreds of GIs there, officers, everything. It says, you're riding around in the black sedan. If it's not correct, raise your eye, raise my right hand. He says, yes. We had a little red convertible. Everybody starts laughing. I didn't have no black sedan. Oh yeah, then we was in Salzburg I got pictures of Hitler's hideout and everything.
You started to talk about it, but could you tell me on camera about that shop where you found the camera? Could you tell me more how you ended up with a camera?
With the camera?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I used to have to go in all the buildings and look for Nazis. I found a suitcase full of cameras, 120 millimeter films, and 35. I gave some of them away, and an infantry guy gave me, he was over to the Stalag or something. He gave me a Thompson submachine gun for 1 camera. That I liked that gun.
Tell them what
Yeah.
you were carrying when you went into the houses looking for Nazis.
Huh?
Tell them what you were carrying when you went into a house looking for Nazis. What were you
I was just
armed
carrying my rifle.
with? Yep, and that was just you with one.
We
little
pulled in.
rifle.
We pulled in one town. Me and this is sergeant. He was from Texas, 2 tanks. It was rainy, and we went right through a stone wall. Then we faced the tank towards the enemy. I says to the sergeant, I says, "There's some girls upstairs." I says, I says, when it gets dark, let's go up there. I want to get one. He says, "Okay." Got dark. I went up there. I opened the door with my rifle, and an officer, "Wollen Sie Frontline?" Means, "Do you want a girl?" I said, "Yeah." Fixed me up with a big, fat one, and Lorenzo got a nice one. I didn't even bother with her. And then Lorenzo got a kick. He said, "I'm from Texas." He was a nice-looking guy, tall. I didn't like that. We still took a chance like that. We were the only Americans there. See, some of those Germans, they're all right. They would have shot you. Then when I used to take prisoners and I used to give them my rations or something, they had like relatives in Chicago and here and there, and, you know. I got some there, I got pictures of them. They're smiling. Right in my pictures. All my pictures.
They're happy to be captured. It's over for them. I was
Oh,
saying,
the infantry.
I'm talking about the Germans.
What's that?
He was suggesting that when the Germans were captured, they were happy.
Yeah, not all of them. Some of them, you can see in my pictures. They're happy as though there's one driver there. I got a picture. One driver, all Germans in the back. In the back and on top of the hood, smiles on their faces. They couldn't beat the Americans.
Alfred, did you see any Germans that refused to be taken as prisoners? Did you see any Germans that refused to be captured? Like in some of the houses where you went through?
No,
They all were.
yeah.
Alfred, tell the story. Remember you watched that German general surrender in France?
Oh, yeah. One time we were there in this here place there with the infantry. Like I said, we were with the infantry, and the Germans surrendered. They were waiting and waiting. I said, "What are we waiting for?" He says, "The general's got to dress up." He dressed up in his uniform. He come out. Then he shook hands with my officers, you know. And that's what we were waiting for. Well, they couldn't probably believe all the stuff we had.
Alfred.
My ears still ring all the time from that 105. Real bad.
Your earring?
Yeah.
You had no protection, right?
No.
It's hard to believe, like, just the noise of one shell, like.
Yeah. I gotta find that letter too. From.
Do you want me to start bringing in pictures and you can hold them up for the camera and tell the story about them?
Yeah. See if you can find the one with the letters.
Hey, Alfred. What about the food? What were you eating when you were in combat? What were you eating?
K rations. First we had the small ones, you know. Then we were eating K rations. I'll tell you the last story. It's
What's the story, Alfred? You said. No.
what is some? Hello.
So you were talking about we were talking about the food.
The what?
The food.
Yeah, we had K rations.
But you said I've got a story, and the phone rang.
Oh, the last story, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there was. We were in, let's see. I think we were in Belgium, and the infantry was there. And I was firing into the next town. See, I never know where we're going. And here's the officers from the infantry. The Germans were giving up so bad that they were playing ball, you know? So we traveled 50 miles away from there, and we're coming down a hill like this. And then an officer was down the bottom of the hill, says, go up this way, go up this way. We start going up that way. There was dead Americans and Germans all over the road. We ran over the Americans' legs with a tank, right on top of the hill, facing Cologne, you know? And then we had some K rations. I don't even like to talk about it. And there's dead Germans and Americans all over the place. We're going to have some K rations, and I couldn't put my mess kit on top of the house there. There was like one house there on the sill. There was a dead German underneath there. I stood up on his back. I started eating. I looked down, and first, before that, I went and looked in the trenches. I found a German P-38 in the trench. Why do they have those trenches all over the town, that little town? Like in World War One. Dead Germans and Americans all over. All over like you wouldn't believe. Even over by the tank, all over the place. I took the rifle, I put it in the tank, and then we went and had something to eat. And we went and had something to eat. And then there was a German underneath there. I stood on his back, I started eating. I looked down. He had the holster for the gun. I went down there. I took the holster out. There's blood all over it. I brought it in a tank and I started scraping it. Oh, I fished his pocket. And this is where I felt bad. I fished his pocket. He had a picture, he just got married with the swastikas and everything. They were holding up swords like that. He just got married, you know. I felt bad for him. He still had the picture in his pocket. I took the picture, I gave it to a friend of mine. And that P-38, when the war ended over there, you could take one rifle home at a time, and they checked your place every day where you stayed in these tents. And if you didn't have a gun, you go into where the officers are, they had a whole box full of guns. You only could take one home at a time.
Alfred.
Yeah.
Here, why don't you show this? Tell them the story of that.
Yeah.
Can you see that without a glare in the camera?
Oh yeah. See. See the crease in my pants?
Yeah.
When you went overseas, you had to turn all your clothes in, and they give you all new clothes. I wouldn't turn them in. What's wrong? Nothing wrong with them. You know. And here's a ring there. When I was in Fort Smith, Arkansas, I bought that ring. I used to like to show that.
You have a nice watch.
Yeah. This picture was taken in Austria.
Salzburg?
Huh?
Salzburg, right?
Salzburg, yeah.
Yeah.
They put it right down the front.
They wanted to show it off in the store window,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Photography studio.
Oh, then I went up in Salzburg. I had a long American jacket. I wanted an Eisenhower jacket. They just gave them to the infantry, you know. I went up there, and the German said, "No, we're busy." He says, "We're busy." He says, "Look all the clothes we got, officers' clothes." I said, "How long will you be open?" "Till 5 o'clock." I went back there. I took a half a carton of cigarettes. I threw them on the table. They came right over, cigarettes, because I didn't smoke. They measured me up. What a beautiful jacket they made. A liner in it and everything.
Nice.
Then I was in the parade with it after the war, and the officer says, "The jacket looks nice, but," he says, "you can't wear that because everybody's wearing the long jackets yet." Yeah, here's the shells.
Yeah, I see it. Can you describe me the picture, Alfred, on the, because I'm filming.
Yeah, he's at this picture. He's a tank commander there. He's waiting for see all the ammunition on the tank. Those are 105s.
Is that your tank commander right there on the top?
Yeah,
Do you remember his name?
just this one.
What's
Oh, this one here too. This guy here, he took a German prisoner. He cut his finger off to get the ring.
The guy was dead.
He was a Southerner. Yeah, he was dead. Yeah. And this is Guy Sumter.
Who's on top?
David Euler.
Yeah. You want to tell him how you connected with David's daughter?
Yeah. When we went to that museum up in Hudson.
No, that was Roger Lindsay's son and daughter. Here, there's another picture for you. Alfred, look at this one.
Oh yeah, they're not happy.
No, these are the happy. Wait. Oh yeah.
They're not happy.
Yeah, tell them. Here, I'll take the other picture.
Take this one.
There's one guy that's happy.
I don't see Alfred.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
He wants to see you. Tell the story of that one.
Yeah, the infantry says to him, he looked over, he says, "Look what I got."
One guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna take that picture, Alfred, and you can talk about it. You see the picture, Alfred? Can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, they're just prisoners going right by our tank. And then he looked at me and says, look what I got. See, they're not happy. See, these are 1944. You know what I mean? And that's it. Oh, this one, you know, Hitler had an architect, Albert Speer,
Yeah.
up in Berchtesgaden.
Yeah.
And there's where I took the picture.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot of pictures of that.
How was that house? Do you remember going in the house?
Yeah, in the house, the infantry, they had a picture with a German flag and Hitler in there with them, visiting him. Look at the house, how nice it is, you know. Albert Speer.
Hey, Alfred, do you remember Christmas 1944? Did they try to make something special for Christmas or nothing like particular?
No, they didn't. No,
Even for Thanksgiving, they didn't try to.
no, they didn't. It was all fighting all the time.
Yeah. Where were you sleeping most of the time, Alfred? Where would you try to sleep?
If we slept in the tank or I slept in cow barns. You know where they keep cows? Yeah. Oh, he's going through another book there. See if you can find the letter.
That's what I've been looking for. I can't find it yet.
Wow.
See that picture of you?
Yeah.
And then you got that. Why don't you tell them about those two pictures?
I don't even remember where they. Oh, this is up on the front lines.
Did you put some type of bags on the tank?
Huh?
Did you put some like big bags on the tank, sandbags, to reinforce the tank?
No.
Can I see?
Yeah.
Up. Thank you.
There's all the writing about it.
Oh yeah, I see. That's the trailer that I see. We can see the trailer that you have behind the
Yeah.
tank.
Yeah, we always drag that trailer, you know, in our tank.
What did you put in that?
Shells.
Okay, shells.
Had shells in there all around the tank too, inside.
I can see that you have a 50 millimeter caliber machine gun on the top.
The what?
You have a 50 millimeter machine gun.
Yeah.
So who was using that?
Huh?
Who was using it? The tank commander?
No, one of the guys. I got pictures of me like that too.
There's the letter.
Oh. Wow.
Do you want me to hold it for you, or do you want to read it?
No, he can read it. I think this was written in one of the school teachers in Milford had a.
Oh, she translated it
Yeah.
for you. Yeah.
Can I take that?
There's the letter.
It's labeled
I
as
will read it after.
it's labeled as France. It's actually Belgium.
See, there's so much.
I will look at it after. Where's it?
On the left
On
hand.
the side? I'm gonna have a look after.
Yeah.
Hey, Alfred. Hey, I've got you in the camera. Thank you. What was the name of your tank?
Blood and Guts. The name of the tank was Blood and Guts.
And why did you name it that way?
Because my tank commander liked General Patton. He was from Morgantown, West Virginia. Halfway through the war, one day he says to me, "Get your gear together, you're being transferred to B Company." I said, "I've been with you since the States." He says, "That's an order." You know why? He didn't want to be responsible for me getting killed. So he transferred me out of his company. You know what I mean?
Which company were you in at that time? A or C company?
The B Company.
Yeah, but you were transferred to another company, you said.
Yeah,
So from which company to which company?
probably C Company, another one. Yeah.
Okay. Which means that you didn't keep the tank commander.
Well, you know why? Because he didn't want to be responsible for me. We had so many close calls. You know, they don't tell you everything. You pull into town, they go to a C camp with all the officers and everything, and then the first sergeant, he takes all the orders from the officer, and then he goes to my sergeant, and he's a regular sergeant, and he tells me, "You get the tank ready, we're going to go over here." So half the time I never know where we're going.
Alfred.
There's Dave Hewler.
Yep.
I don't know who the other guys are. There's the 50 caliber up there.
Did you ever have to use that machine gun, Alfred?
Yeah. Could use it on airplanes.
Oh, you used that on airplanes?
Yeah. And I told you one time I used it for an airplane, and the guy that was he was directing traffic. He was in the office the way he was sleeping. I used a 50 caliber, but you couldn't go by the sights. I went by the burst in the beat field, like that. Right up like that there, then he went over. He was up against a pole, almost a mile away. Yeah, that's a nice one, yeah.
Can you put it here so it's better if it's not shot?
He's still looking at the book.
So Alfred, you said that your tank commander transferred you to Bravo Company. Do you remember that new tank commander that you were in with?
Yeah, I was from that day. He was from West Virginia.
So that's the second one. Okay.
Yeah,
Did you stay with him until the end of the war?
not him, another one. He got killed.
No, Dave. Frank Vecchio. You said he got injured from shrapnel.
Yeah,
He was okay.
But yeah, he was in another company.
Right. But
He was
your
going the
first
side of a
commander.
mountain, and the Germans were shooting at ledge, and he got it in the arm. See, there's a lot of things you never know what. You just go what the officer says.
Alfred, do you need a break?
Huh?
Do you need a break? How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I wonder if you put the other light on, you think for him would be better?
Can we put it after, Alfred? Is that okay?
After, yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah, all right, okay.
So, Alfred, I'm just wondering about, that new tank commander. Not the one that got hit in the arm, but the new one.
Yeah.
How was the relationship with that guy? Was he a good tank commander?
Oh yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I don't remember that much, but yeah, they were always good. All the GIs got along very good.
So is that this one that named the tank Blood and Guts, or that was the first one?
No, it's the first one,
The first
named
one,
Blood
okay.
and Guts. Yeah, he
I
liked General Patton.
I see.
He did a lot of desert training and everything.
Have you ever seen General Patton?
No.
Did you remember that second tank? Did you keep that crew the entire war? That same crew? I'm talking about the second tank. Second crew. Did you keep them all?
Yeah, but I forget,
I'm just gonna have a couple more questions, Alfred. Do you remember when the war ended on May the 8th, 1945? Do you remember that day when the war ended?
I don't know. We probably did. You want to take that book there, Jeff?
That's
Give
all right.
Jeff the big book.
Yeah, that's the one here.
See, we take all these pictures up the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody takes pictures of them.
Do you remember about that picture right there?
Yeah.
Do you remember how you get that flag?
No. There's that other guy there. He's from Alaska. He's a little crazy.
How was that? How was it crazy?
They transferred him to our tank from Alaska. And then he put a German boot in the tank. They had hundreds of German boots all over the place. I threw it out. He got mad, pulled a 45 on me. I said, don't get over. I said, there's plenty of those boots around. Then he calmed down. He was all right. He must have been up in Alaska. You can tell I got pictures of him. You can tell by looking at his face there's something wrong with him.
Who? Is there the one there on the left?
No, way up there.
On the
Right
ri-
there, yeah, I think that's the one.
And where are you on that picture, Alfred?
I'm not in that picture.
You're not there?
No. You can see the guy from oh yeah, see all the empty shells there? That's the ammunition. See all the empty shells?
Yeah.
You can see him, he's the guy from Alaska. You can tell he's a little something wrong with him. Jeffrey, have you got the
Yeah, I'm gonna have a look at that. So Alfred, do you remember returning home from Europe? Like, do you remember that first day when you returned back home?
Yeah, I think I remember it a little bit. I've got a picture of it when we're in France getting all the stuff together. Yeah, that's the one.
So that's the picture before you were ready to return home, right?
Yeah.
Was that Ike jacket? Eisenhower jacket.
There's that Eisenhower jacket too the guy made.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys there.
Thank you. You look pretty handsome in that uniform.
Yeah.
So Alfred, I don't think I've got any more questions. But is there anything that you would like to add? I'm sure there are other stories, but you're gonna think about it after.
Yeah, I felt bad about that there German that got. I don't know why they were all those. Imagine we rather run over the American legs with our tank to go up the hill. And there was dead Germans all over the fields on both sides. Look in Cologne. We'll put the tank up like that, right? And we slept in the tank at night. Then one night, I'm looking over, I see the shell coming over from Cologne. I kicked the driver, I said, back the tank up, back the tank up. He backed the tank up like that. Then the second round was 4 feet off the ground. They would have taken the turret right off. That's how close it was. All the way from Cologne. That Cologne was spelt with a K.
Did you see